We welcome you to the ride, also known as the A Train Sports Talk podcast, video streaming on YouTube, Twitch.tv, and I do believe Facebook. I know it has been a while. So let me just say it like this. We do not have any guests lined up as of yet. It's been some downtime and a lot of work going on. So I'm hoping to hear maybe next week try to get some interviews lined up. I have reached out to some people. So the train is going to go on different rides. And today we're going to talk about some news that is going to change how you look at small college football, NAIA level. Uh, KCAC strikes a deal. Also, the SAC, which is the Sooner Athletic Conference. And I know some of you are like, never heard of that conference. If you've heard of Langston University, you've heard of the Sooner Athletic Conference. Uh, I'm just elated to be back on your video screen and bring you some news because the KCAC has struck a deal, but not only have they struck a deal, the Sooner Athletic Conference has also struck a deal too. And we're going to talk about that. So, once again, I want to welcome you aboard. You're riding the A Train, and this is the ride on the A Train Sports Talk podcast. Today, we're diving into some breaking news in the world of college sports streaming. And trust me, this one's big for NAIA athletics. The Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference and the Sooner Athletic Conference are both teaming up with Urban Edge Network, a move that could completely change the way fans, families, and athletes experience small college sports. The KCAC, 14 schools, officially partners with the Urban Edge Network, or UEN. Streaming rights run through the 2028-29 academic year. The KCAC events will be broadcast both on the KCAC network and UEN's platform for more exposure. John Gehring of Bethel College says our 14 member schools are excited to offer the UEN streaming services to our students, their families, and fans. UEN impressed us with their business model, ease of engagement for our SIDs, and understanding of small college athletics. The expansion, the SAC deal, the Sooner Athletic Conference, is also in on this move with UEN. That's schools like Oklahoma City University, Wayland Baptist, Texas Wesleyan, Mid America Christian, and others. For the SAC, this deal means more visibility for a conference known for producing championship level teams in basketball, baseball, and track and field. UEN perspective, Hardy L. Pelt, UEN Chief Revenue Officer. This is a revolutionary opportunity to elevate high level athletic competition and to maximize viewership reach across diverse locations. This is about more than sports, it's about creating community. So, what does this mean for fans? Accessibility. No more scrambling for random streams. Now games are centralized and reliable. You will also have a broader reach. Family, alumni, and fans across the country can tune in. The consistency of it, professional level of delivery for small college sports. What it means for the conferences, well, the KCAC and the SAC get more control of their content, raises the profile of NAIA sports, which often get overlooked by ESPN or bigger platforms. Could attract new recruits who see that their games will be broadcast on high quality platform, and sports information directors get easier tech and workflow support. So here's the thing: NAIA schools don't always get the spotlight, but these partnerships are changing the game. The KCAC and the SAC stepping into the digital aspect with UEN shows that small college sports can control their brand, deliver their product directly to fans, and compete with the big boys in terms of visibility. This could also push other conferences like the GPAC, Heart of America, or even HBCU leagues to make similar moves. The future of college sports coverage might not just be ESPN or Fox anymore. It might be these innovative streaming platforms stepping in where the big networks won't. So, the fan engagement and reaction angle, reaction for listeners, KCAC and SAC fans, how much will this change how you follow your teams? Will you tune in more often now that it's easier to watch? And does this make you feel more connected to your school's athletics? Bottom line, this is a win for fans, a win for athletes, and a big step forward for NAIA sports. The KCAC and SAC are leading the way, and Urban Edge Network is giving small college sports a platform that could change the future for how we watch. And this is just a little sample of what we're getting ready to get into because we're going to look at what the season may look like this coming up year. As we know, last year, and I want to say I had the opportunity to attend a game or two last year. I checked out Friends University, and let's just say that Cavante Baker, Friends is very glad to have him back for a final season. That guy is the straw that stirs the coffee. It's like you know what's coming, but you can't stop it. Watching that team play a few times last year, I was highly impressed. And I hope to at some point even get their coach on, maybe even get Cavante Baker on. I have reached out to him a time or two. So hopefully in the near future, we can get one, if not both of them, on. So what I want to do is I want to look at some of the rivalries. How about Bethany versus Bethany, the Battle of the Bethanies? Bethel College, Kansas versus Bethel College, West Virginia has happened occasionally in history, but within the KCAC, Bethany College's main rival is McPherson College, just 10 miles away. Local bragging rights. This is a small town, Kansas. This is small town Kansas at its finest. You can drive from one campus to the other in less time than it takes to warm up the marching band. Friends University versus Southwestern College. Friends University, Wichita has always had a fiery rivalry with other schools because they're in the biggest city. Right now, their top rival is with Southwestern College, Winfield, Kansas. When Friends and Southwestern meet, it's not just a game, it's about who runs Southern Kansas. And Friends is projected to repeat as champions, even though they have switched into a different division. They expect the Falcons to fly high. Bethel College versus Tabor, the Mennonite Bowl. Both schools are rooted in Mennonite traditions, just 20 miles apart. Their football and basketball clashes are always intense because the communities are so connected. This is more than a rivalry. It's Thanksgiving dinner bragging rights for entire church congregations. Looking at some of the rivalries in the SAC now. Oklahoma City University versus Wayland Baptist basketball powerhouse. OCU has 11 men's and 9 women's national titles. Wayland Baptist women's program is legendary. The Flying Queens are one of the winningest programs in women's basketball history. Whenever these two meet, it feels like an NAIA Final Four matchup. If you want to see NAIA hoops at its best, OCU versus Wayland is the ticket. It's blue blood versus blue blood. How about Texas Wesleyan versus Southwestern Christian? These Texas Oklahoma clashes bring the border heat. In basketball and baseball, the games are close, physical, and usually playoff impacting. Every time Texas Wesleyan and Southwestern Christian link up, you know somebody's walking out with a bruised ego and maybe a bruised elbow too. Mid America Christian versus Oklahoma City, modern rival. MACU has been building its athletic programs and has started to push OCU in recent years. This is like the new money versus old dynasty storyline in the SAC. When MACU takes on OCU, it's like David versus Goliath. Only David has been hitting the weight room lately. So now what I want to do is I want to transition in to the outlook of what we can expect to see this season. The KCAC football preview 2025 season storyline. Southwestern College, the Mound Builders have been a consistent power in recent years. They've got a balanced offense and one of the stingiest defenses in the KCAC. Kansas Westland, always in the title hunt, known for high powered offenses, especially their passing game. Avila, Missouri, since joining the KCAC, they've become a dark horse contender. Watch out for their athleticism on both sides of the ball. Tabor College and Bethel College, programs on the rise, could play spoiler and shake up the standings. Now, know if you're listening, you said, well, you haven't said nothing about friends. We will get to them shortly. As they say, we'd like to save the best for last. The SAC football preview 2025 season storylines. Langston University, the Lions have been SAC's standard bearer in football, producing championship caliber teams and sending players to the pros. Hmm. Ottawa University of Arizona, explosive offense, flashy playmakers, a team that could make noise in the postseason. Texas Wesleyan, steadily improving, could be a sleeper team this season. Arizona Christian and Southwestern Assemblies of God, always physical, always tough outs, teams that can knock off anybody on any given Saturday. The SAC is going to be fun this year. Big dog, Langston's the big dog, but Ottawa University, Arizona has the firepower to pull an upset. And you know those Texas teams, Westland, SAGU, they bring that toughness every single game. And now with this UEN partnership, SAC football won't just be box scores anymore. Fans across the country can actually see the battles play out. So we have a list of some games to watch and some dates. Looking at August 30, the matchup at Kansas Western University. Why watch? Season opener, a high stakes Kansas rivalry. September 20th, and this is Ottawa University. September 20th versus Southwestern College, title contender contention. clash of top programs. September 27th at McPherson College, local rivalry with plenty of small town drama. October the 4th versus Friends University, Wichita versus Ottawa, matchup regional pride. And November 1st, how about Bethel versus Bethany, a history rich rivalry. November 15th, the season finale. This is Ottawa versus Bethany, a final showdown, pride and bragging rights. So you can take your choice of games that you would like to see. Here are some more games of interest for the 2025 season. Games to watch: Texas Wesleyan versus Lindsey Wilson, Kentucky, August 28th. Season opener with high expectations. Texas Wesleyan returns 8 starters and boosted its non conference slate. Or how about Texas Wesleyan versus University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, Saturday, September 20th? Local flavor and in state bragging rights in a high octane matchup. Ottawa, Arizona versus Langston, Saturday, October the 4th. Two of the league's contenders expect forwards and preseason positioning. Texas Wesleyan at Nelson, Texas, Saturday, September 13th. The Rams' first test on the road, key for team momentum. Ottawa University, Arizona versus Wayland Baptist, Saturday, September 6th. Top tier battle that signals the tone for the season. And how about Langston at Texas Wesleyan, Saturday, October 25th? Another potential showdown in the standings late in the season. So now what I want to do is close out and put the spotlight on Friends University as defending champs. Because the Friends University Falcons come in as the team to beat. Friends were crowned conference champions last season. Also, the most games won in the season by that high powered octane offense. Run heavy. We're going to run left. We're going to run right. We're going to run straight up the middle. Oh, and we will hit you with the occasional pass when you least expect it. But once again, they were crowned conference champions last season, and they've got enough talent returning to make a serious run going back to back. They've built their success on a tough defense and a balanced offense that can grind it out on the ground, but also stretch the field when needed. If you're talking about who wears the crown in the KCAC right now, it's the Friends Falcons. But here's the question: can they handle the heat of the chase? Because you know, Southwestern, Kansas Wesleyan, Avila, and Bethel are all loading up to try and knock them off. And that's what makes this season in the KCAC so fun. Friends is the champ, but in this league, nothing come easy. Now, while Friends tries to defend their KCAC crown, down in the SAC, it's a different story. Langston's the powerhouse, but OUAZ, Texas Wesleyan, and Arizona Christian are right there on their heels. So the 2025 between the KCAC and the AC and the SAC will be worth watching. And now with the streaming partnership, you'll have more access because I know for a fact with the KCAC, this is also in addition to the fact that they also have the KCAC network. So you just have more ways to watch your favorite teams. But I'm pretty sure they would like to see fans in the stand as well too. It's one thing to watch it, but it's another thing to experience the game. And this I can say for a fact. The program that Friends have and the crowds that they have on any given Saturday, Friends has that support. And I would not be surprised. Their home opener, you better get there early, or else you won't have a seat. I know the Friends side of the stadium will be packed out. And if by chance, they might even take up a few seats on the visitor side. I know Friends like to be, I would say, somewhat gracious hosts. But if they fill up their side to the visitors, you can't be upset if you have a few enemies sitting on your side of the field. So I'm gonna put this out there. If you're going to a Friends game this year and to see one of the most electrifying players to lace it up as their quarterback, and I'm talking about one Cavante Baker, and I can transition it like this: once a Falcon, always a Falcon. What's the correlation there? Cavante Baker started Wichita Heights Falcons, and now he's at home starring again for the Friends Falcons. So all I say is, whoever your team is, whatever community you're in, get out and support your team. This has been the ride. I know it's a short deal, but hey, sometimes you can get a whole lot of information in a short bit of time. Just want to say I'm glad to be back. Hope you're glad to have me back. Hope you have enjoyed the ride known as the A Train. If you, any of you that may have missed this, don't worry, it will be podcast as well too. So I want to say thank you for joining the ride. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Until the next time, take care of yourself and each other. And I want you to know that this episode is, that's right, we are powered by Riverside FM. So until the next time, we are out of here.